We are back in central Vietnam, and I am so excited to share this video with you because 2 years ago we stayed in Hoi An, ancient city. It is a UNESCO heritage site. It is absolutely beautiful, so much history. It's perfect for lots of photos and videos. It's also super touristy, just like every other UNESCO heritage site in the world, because you know what? Everybody wants to go there, not just us. But we still really enjoyed it. We enjoyed walking around. The food in Hoi An is amazing. Central Vietnam is just the hub for agriculture, fishing. Just the pork here is so good. And so we had a really, really great time. We did the touristy night market, which I recommend everybody does, would not do it again. And also the basket boat in the coconut grove, which you will howl laughing the entire time, but also super touristy, but you gotta do it. But I did not think, for those reasons, we would come back again. And I was wrong. So we decided actually to come here because I had heard that a lot of Australians and people from other countries actually don't stay in ancient town. They stay 15 minutes out of town, which is Riverside, and 2 blocks from the beach, and not far from all this gorgeous agriculture. This is the first place in Asia in a long time where I think, wow, Vietnam, I've always wanted to stay in longer term because it has a great quality of life, great food, great people, great safety. But Hoi An this area here is so special. Alan's here. Right by the river, we're staying at the Seagull Nest, and I love it here. In fact, I actually love being by the river more than I like being by the beach because it's just so quiet. We're staying at a great place, big room, pool, gorgeous view with the fishermen in the morning, and fantastic breakfast. So every day they offer 5 different things. And because we're staying here so long, actually, I haven't had the regular breakfast in a long time because they said to me that I could special order dishes so that I would not get sick of breakfast. And so I just said to them, whatever you're having that day, I'll have it too. And so when they make breakfast for themselves, I've been able to have bom beo, some different noodle soups, like so many different traditional Vietnamese breakfasts, which you know I love because I have a video about breakfast in Vietnam. That is so fantastic. But even just their regular breakfast, like eggs, salad, and this warm bread that they serve, it is so good. You cannot beat the view here. The view of the river is amazing. So breakfast was great, but it's 10:30, so it's time to go for coffee, and we're gonna go somewhere really great. But I did want to share something with you because there's something you should know about Vietnam. This is first week in May. It is 10:30 a.m. It is 32 Celsius or 39 with the humidity, so almost 40 degrees. If you're gonna travel Vietnam, I think the best way to do it is actually get up early. So Vietnamese here get up at 4:30 a.m. They get up, they go to the ocean, usually have a swim. You can find them doing like calisthenics and some exercise. By 6 a.m., all the coffee shops here are open because you'll find lots of people just sitting out, especially by the river while it's cool under the trees. But we're gonna take you somewhere that is beautiful, but also, most importantly, cool and has a breeze.
That we can drive over the rice. We're trying to avoid it. Alan said that actually it's a horrible thing to do and something that can get you maybe even killed in Indonesia. So we're driving around trying to see, but everyone is harvesting their rice right now, drying it out. So it's becoming a bit complicated.
So that drive was a bit unexpectedly crazy, as this is usually a pretty simple drive through the rice fields. But it seems like in the last couple of days, everyone has been drying their rice, and we came upon rice where they were drying it almost directly on the lane to get here. Yeah. Now, the guy had motioned to us to go through, but you were already turning around.
Yes.
Why?
Because it's impolite
Yeah.
in Indonesia, in my country, because we have to respect the food.
Right. And I think that goes back to kind of like when you say rice is life, it's not only life that you eat it at every meal, but it's actually people's livelihood and makes a huge deal on how well they could live for the upcoming year. But we're here, we made it, and we're going to have some coffee. So we made it to our favorite coffee shop, and I think you're gonna love it too. There are lots of fantastic places around here, but this one is our favorite for a number of reasons. And number one for me is actually that the name is Ca Phe Xóm Chiêu. So they keep actually the Vietnamese name, and I really like that. A lot of the other places have English names to attract tourists. This spot, when we've come here, is mostly Vietnamese. Lots of families come here, groups of friends. It's definitely a local spot and also has half the price coffee of the other English-speaking names. But the quality is not compromised because it's made for Vietnamese. Now, I love a good coconut coffee. Alan gets his suada, which is iced with condensed milk. But my favorite so far, which I've been drinking here, is salt coffee. Now, salt coffee uses Robusta versus Arabica beans. It's a little bit stronger in caffeine. It's a mix of condensed milk cream. But what makes it so good is so simple. They put salt on top. And so when you have it, it's just like this burst of flavor. Just a tiny little bit of salt. It is so good. We love this spot because it's just very relaxed. Breeze coming through amongst all of these beautiful flowers, looking out onto the rice field. We're gonna stay here for a couple of hours and then probably have a late lunch. And I really wanna take you somewhere special. I think, I've heard, it's a local tip and the food there is supposed to be delicious. We could stay here all day. The air just breezes through here. It's so cool and beautiful around all of these flowers. But we do have to eat. And so we're gonna go for lunch. I do have to say one thing, the longer that we spend here and just watching the people work in this heat, 39 Celsius. Now there is a breeze, but we are covered. They are not sheltered, just processing this rice. It's really incredible and hard work. And I can understand why Alan did not want to drive his bike over it. Just all those tiny grains of rice. I'm going to eat all my rice in my food from now on. Or I'm gonna give it to Alan to make sure that someone eats it because it is hard, hard work. Not too far from the rice fields is actually a spot that serves Banchan. Now, a lot of people know Banchan as a rice noodle dish that is from southern Vietnam, from the Mekong, but actually Hoi An has its own version. And while they still use the same thick noodles, they have their own ingredients because of local ingredients here. And the most famous one is the snake fish. They didn't have that today, but they said the one that they're serving is almost the same. The family here is incredibly nice. The daughter speaks English, and so she was actually able to give me a lot of tips, including how to say fish. What is really interesting about this is it has fish. It also has some pork balls here. Alan got his without the pork, no problem at all. And then they also said to take the kumquat and put it in. So that is fantastic. Alongside, you know, I love places. They have their own condiments. They have pickled shallot and carrot, and then they also have some of their own spice. So this is peppers in sauce. I don't see that bottled chili sauce anywhere, so I know this is a good spot. Let me get right into it. I'm gonna be honest with you. I had this dress made a couple days ago. It is linen, and I am petrified of getting this delicious soup on it. Wow, fish is super interesting, almost smoky. But getting into this broth, so the broth here is different at the south. It is clear, it's lighter. And it is so good. Sometimes you think if you see a thin, clear broth, it's not gonna be very flavorful. And sometimes it's not, to be honest. I have a lot of pho sometimes that is not that flavorful, but this one is really good. It's just a light fish flavor, but not fishy. With these ingredients, so good. And meatball. Pork and Hoi An, always, always so good. I almost said to them I wasn't going to get the pork, but I'm so glad I did. Somehow, sweet pork, this like smoky fish, and then this clear broth with lots of onion, it just goes so well together. Welcomed us in, taught us about this soup. Now we're just having the best afternoon. I think I successfully ate that soup without getting it on my dress. Or at least if I did get it on my dress, it's orange, my dress is orange, we're all okay. But I did want to just let you in on, we have been to Ancient Town for one reason, and that was actually to make this dress. So 2 years ago, we had our dye made, and it was in like a standalone store in Ancient Town, and it was okay. I thought it was kind of overpriced for the quality that we received, just the craftsmanship, I guess, the sewing. But I was happy with the photos that we did for the photo shoot, and you know, it was just a really beautiful day, and now I have a memory of that. This time we went to the Hoi An cloth market, and actually there's so many really great seamstresses there. You can take your own design of what you want in, you can look through a catalog of things, or what a lot of people do, which I think is so smart, is if you have a favorite dress or shirt or pants that you love and you want it in a different color, or maybe they're getting old and you just want it duplicated, they can do that. I went to one spot first and had this dress made. Happy with the quality, was not happy with the service. Get into that maybe in a future live stream, but I did find someone else that's really good, and that was Sewing Bee. And so I just felt like she has really great customer service. She's willing to walk around with you to find the absolute perfect fabric that you like. There's no pressure, and she just really wants to understand and wants you to love the dress. Well, today did not go as planned at all, but I think actually it's worked out really well. After lunch, we went back and had like a heat exhaustion nap, but got up for sunset, because while sunset doesn't happen on the ocean, we're not facing the right direction, it does actually happen on the river. It is spectacular, but there was no sunset tonight. I guess with the extreme heat that we've been having, it was just cloudy the entire time in the afternoon. So instead, we decided to share dinner with you, and I think this one is going to be great. So this spot is a very local kind of seafood place. It has snails, clams, scallops, basically crab. I think we ordered a little bit of everything. And people here don't speak English, and the menu's not in English. They do have one strange kind of English menu where you can't really understand anything of the dishes, and there's no prices on it, but they also handed us a big one, which we said to them, give us 5 minutes, because we need to basically Google Translate all of this. Now, I do want to give one disclaimer, and that is that when you use Google Translate, it's pretty good with the major words, but when there are descriptors, it's not fantastic. So we're not exactly sure what we're ordering. We know from words that we know that we ordered some seafood fried rice, because for Alan, it's not dinner unless there's rice of some form on the table. And then also, it looks like we've ordered some dishes that are Thai inspired, has some lemongrass. There's cheese on one of the dishes, which is very common for seafood in Vietnam. I'm sure the French would hate it, but it's actually pretty tasty. But yes, when this food comes, it's gonna be just a surprise, and I think it's gonna be really good. We did let these get warm. They come out like steaming hot. That's all right though. So sweet.
It's sweet sour.
Very sweet, like a creamy sweet sauce. That was very surprising. I want to try these big snails. So this one has got to be easier.
Because it's big.
Because this is a big mama snail. Ready? 1, 2. Not too spicy at all. Like mostly lemongrass flavor. I was really worried it was going to be all chili oil. That was really, really good. Now, the nice thing about this place is that everything is actually quite affordable. So I think the most expensive thing that we got was 85,000, which is $5. So we have 5 plates here. Well, we ordered 4 and they gave us 1. I got a beer, he got a 7-Up because he's the driver. And I think this meal is actually gonna be pretty inexpensive. So if you do like seafood, I think Vietnam is the place to go. We've had so much good seafood here. We're gonna just keep going here. It's been a long day, a long, hot day, but I hope you enjoyed this video. The one last tip I want to give you before we go is not related to food. It is actually that since we've been here, we have been going to see a Chinese medicine doctor, and he has been amazing. And I don't know, I just want to spread the word about this. Does not belong in this video, but just want to say Alan has had mobility issues for a very long time, for years. And he was recently in a motorcycle accident in Indonesia where someone hit him and had really bad back problems. And so this guy was recommended. I will put contact information in the description below and maybe even a screenshot of his card, because we have been going, I think we've gone 4 times so far. We've been going every second day. I've had a bad back for a while. And the Chinese medicine is like, he's an older gentleman, like been doing this for years. He is an acupuncturist, but also a massage therapist, but also does chiropractic aspects of it and then physiotherapy aspects of it. So he evaluates what you need based on what he sees. He does not speak English. He does work with Google Translate, and then also his son is there who speaks more English. But basically, when we go in, each time I just tell him what I'm feeling in terms of pain or tightness. But then he takes that and he instead just feels around my body to figure out what is wrong. I've been having feet problem. I thought it was plantar fasciitis, and he actually told me that my feet problems stem from my back, and until I fix my back on the right, I'm always gonna have problems with my feet. Anyway, so take that tip for what you will, but he has really changed our time here, and it's just one more reason why we love Hoi An.